Hello everyone, welcome back to another Coleman lantern video. Oh yeah. So I had mentioned something about a 1958 lantern. I actually was getting two lanterns confused. This lantern is actually a 220E, and this is, let's see if we could, I don't know if you're going to see that, but it says 12 of 51. So that's an old puppy. So my buddy Mike, I mentioned him in the other video. I had said to him when I crushed up that the air tip cleaning assembly, I said, hey, if you come across a, crudded up, beat up, $5 lantern, pick it up for me. And as long as it has that valve, I showed him what the valve was. And this one does have that valve. Let me show you. Now this is exactly how he found it. It's exactly how he gave it to me. I did absolutely nothing with it so far. Little crusty. So there you can see, let me zoom in a little bit. That's the valve body there that I needed. So he actually gave me this lantern for free. I'm guessing he had it laying around. It's pretty beat up. When I looked at it and I saw the age on it, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna attempt to do a restoration. And it even has the reflector shield on it. It looks like it's made out of aluminum. We'll have to see how we can clean that up. But there it is. It's in rough shape as far as I'm concerned. I mean, we got a lot of rust. Well, I'm so out of frame here. Got a lot of rust on the vent. We got some delamination over here. I don't know if you could see that. But again, you can't paint these. So the best we could do is, I found that you could soak these in, what's it called, evaporust, and it doesn't harm the porcelain, but it'll take all the rust off, and then you could cold blue those spots, so it doesn't look like bare metal, it just kind of blackens them, so it looks pretty good. Otherwise, that's that. Unless you know somebody, there is a place that you could send these ventilators to, and they could reporcelize them. Is that a word? But they'll strip them down, sandblast them, and then they'll put a coat of glaze on it, porcelain glaze, and they'll bake them for you. I actually read a whole thread about a guy actually doing it in his garage, but he had a kiln, So if you got a kiln, yeah, you can kind of do those things, but that's something I don't have. So here it is. Like I said, it's pretty toasty. Let's see, does this even move? Like, this is froze up. Tip cleaner. All right, this right off the bat I can see is the wrong. Oh, that comes off. It's the wrong fuel cap. Yeah, this is I think these caps were introduced, man, I'm so out of frame. I think these solid caps were introduced after, I want to say, the late 60s, 68, 69 or something like that. Before that, it was the three-piece with the screw in it. And there's two types of those. The one that has a little hole in it here, and the one that doesn't have the hole and it has these four little cutouts. I'll explain that when I show another lantern that I have. So I'm sure this thing is all rusted inside. At the very least, we'll have some parts. Like I said, I'm gonna attempt a restoration. I'm sure it'll look a lot better than it does. I don't know how this is gonna come out. It's pretty nasty. Let's see, there's the fuel valve. Fuel valve's frozen up. I got that distinct smell of white gas in there. So There's probably some gas residue in it. So, but again, I'm not gonna like show me taking it apart and all of that. Um, Again, if you want to see that, go to what is it, Old Town Coleman, Frank on YouTube. He has excellent tutorials on ripping things down. He used to be a authorized Coleman repairman. Again, Steve Winkleman, um, Mike Frieda, uh, Thomas over at Blue Ridge Bushcraft. There's a lot of guys out there that'll show you a lot of detail. And again, I'm new at this, so I'm not comfortable yet showing you what to do when I'm kind of just learning it myself. But I'll bring you along on the journey. I'm going to strip it down. I'll show it to you when I get it stripped down, and then I'll take you along with the refinishing of this. All right. So I'm going to strip it down, and I'll bring you back. All right. So I have it completely disassembled. I am totally, I don't even know the words to use. Elated, happy. I mean, it took, I'm going to say, 5 minutes to disassemble this lantern. Using the vise that Thomas designed from Bluegrass Bushcraft. It was just a breeze. Everything worked great. My little socket that I made to remove this valve, the air tip cleaner valve, it was just literally, it was less than 5 minutes. I am not kidding. So I got this whole thing disassembled all the way down. I even have the check valve out. I'll be showing that tool. If I didn't show it already, I'm not sure the sequence of events I'm putting these videos out, but it's still rattling. There's a little ball in there, right, for the check valve, but it's dirty. So we're going to clean everything. The pump cup is leather, but that is dry. So we'll be taking all that apart. Some of the stuff's going to get soaked in vinegar. Some of the stuff, like the vent cap, is going to go in Evapo-Rust, and tank's going to get stripped. So when all of this is stripped, vinegarized, Evapo-Rustorized, I'll bring you back and I'll show you what it looks like, and we'll do some painting and then some reassemble. So I will be back probably in a couple days, but for you it will be a couple seconds. All right, here's a quick update. I have all of the brass parts cleaned up. They look great. They were no problem. The rest of it, man, there was a lot of rust. So I got the band pretty cleaned up. There's some pitting in there that I'm not getting out, but you can still read the Coleman model 220E. The frame, man, this was a bear. I left it like a brushed finish, which basically means I stopped when I got to about it was 320 grit. Brushed finish, like not polished. But no, I like the way it looks. It came out great compared to what it was. If you scroll back a little bit to the beginning of the video, you'll see how nasty this was. Now, the fount is still soaking. From what I can see, the inside looks pretty decent. I got almost 95% of the paint is off, but there's still some work to do on that, so I put it in for a second bath. And the vent is in nasty shape. I mean, I had that in overnight in Evapo-Rust, and it almost seems like it didn't do anything. I mean, so far with this Evapo-Rust stuff, I'm not a huge fan so far. This is like the second or third time I tried it. Third time. And I'm not impressed. I think the salt and vinegar does it better. It takes longer. Well, takes longer. It's just better, basically, because I had the Evapo-Rust, like I said, overnight is what I usually leave the vinegar and salt, the same amount of time, and so my vote goes for the vinegar and salt at this point anyway. like this brass stuff, you put this in vinegar, with or without salt, for literally 10 minutes, 5 minutes even, and all the crud and stuff comes off it. It does turn it like a pinkish color, but you can buff that off, or you can leave it. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't harm it. It's all going to get black and sooty again anyway. So as far as the vent goes, like I said, I got it in vinegar now, and we'll see how that works out. If that doesn't work, I have this the rust dissolver jelly. It's basically like a navel jelly. So I've never tried this on a vent. I've tried this on other things, and this stuff is amazing. The thing with this is it leaves it a very dark color, which I guess is neutralizing the rust, right? Which is fine for the vent. So hopefully it doesn't mess up the porcelain. So I'll test the inconspicuous area first. So that's where I'm at. And once I get the vent rust-free and ready for primer and all of that good stuff, not primer on the vent, on the fount, I'll bring you back. All right, fount is stripped, ready for primer. It's okay. It's got a couple little pits in it, but I'll tell you, I'm learning a lesson on this one. Yeah, it's a lot of work. The first one I did was not nearly as much work. I think I spent, gosh, probably close to 3 hours on this fount to get it to that condition. So I'm going to get some primer on it, and I'll bring you back. All right, so the fount is primed. So next is the paint. I built this little, if you could see it, just a little stand that I can hang them up on. And I have a plug. It's a nylon plug that I have in that top of that. It's a 1/4-inch male NPT plug. I think it was like $1.50 at Ace Hardware. And what I did was, I think that's a tapered tap that they use for that. So I couldn't find the exact thread. I was gonna, buy a piece of copper or brass or something. I couldn't find it. So I ended up getting this nylon one, and what I did was I tapered it myself. And then I just screwed it in. Obviously that's nylon, and the fitting on the fount is metal, so it tapped itself, and it makes a perfect little place to hang it. So that's that. Next time you'll see this font, it'll be painted green. I'm still debating the color. I'm kind of leaning towards some Rust-Oleum hunter green or dark hunter green. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'll bring you back when that is done. All right, so I got the fount painted. I had issues with painting this. I don't know what happened. It may have been the humidity. I love the color. Again, I went with the forest green, but I first did it in a Rust-Oleum, what was it? Hunter green, and I didn't like it. It just seemed too bright. So I was gonna restrip it. Then I'm like, you know what? I'll sand it. I'll put some of the Ace Hardware Deep Forest on it, and hindsight, I should have just stripped it down and started all over. It's okay, but it's not as, I don't know, it's got like some weird texture-y stuff going on, but I mean, it looks okay. Got the label on it, the decal, the correct one for the period. I'm pretty happy with it. This vent cap is just totally roached. I mean, I got most of the deep rust off. I put some bluing on it. And then when I polished it a little bit, tried to polish it a little bit, which was basically just cleaning it with simple green and a soft cloth, it took all the bluing off. I mean, it's really roached. And this cloudiness in here just won't come out. I may just put some wax on it. I know the wax ain't going to stay on it. It's going to burn off, but just to, for appearance-wise, maybe I'll find another one. But I'll tell you, after doing this project, where's the frame? Here's the frame. there was a lot of stuff to do. I mean, it really was basically, roached. It was trashed. It was rusty. Um, I'll probably not do another one. I know I say that and then I do, but really, I'm just. You've been seeing the lanterns I've been finding. Um, there's no reason to buy a really, really roached one unless you need parts off of it, which I will do that. If I find one has a great vent and the rest of it is roached and I can get it for $5 or $10, I'll do that. And I'll just start to amass some parts and stuff. But yeah, this was kind of a bear. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reassemble this. I'm not gonna show all the steps to reassemble it. Again, I'm fairly new at this, and there's a lot of folks out there that have a lot more experience than me and explain it, exactly what's going on. You got Frank from, was it Old Town Coleman? You got Steve Winkleman. You got Rob over from Bluegrass Bushcraft. There's a lot of folks out there that rebuild these, and they really show you what's going on. Maybe down the road, if I ever do another one. See, look, already I'm saying if I ever do another one. But yeah, so basically, here's all the parts cleaned. I'll reassemble this, and I'll bring you back, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, there she is. In all her glory. Woo! Got a little dust on it. Came out pretty good. I'm pleased with it. This one's going to be more of a display piece, The other ones I got are the ones I'll be using. I know I haven't lit one up yet, right? Man, I got to light one up. As soon as I get a chance. Right now I'm in my garage. I don't want to torch one up here in the garage, which probably would be okay if I opened the door. But anywho, there she is. I like it. Again, a couple things I would have done different. I would have restripped the fount and repainted it, but like I said, it looks okay. So I'm pretty pleased. That was the 1951 220E. Pretty much a total restore. I'm going to keep my eye out for a better vent cap. Like I said, this thing is pretty trashed. But otherwise, looking nice. There you have it. Thanks for coming along. I do appreciate it. And again, if you want to see a complete tear down and, rebuild, check out those folks I was mentioning before. Rob and Steve and Frank. They give you a pretty much step-by-step on how to do it. Down the road, I may show you how I disassemble a few of them using that vise. Because it's a pretty cool process. But as far as cleaning them and stuff like that, check those guys out. They do a really fantastic job. So thanks for coming along, everyone. I'm sending you all much, much love and appreciation. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're doing well, and we'll see you on the next one.